Hi, I'm Emily David, and it is my privilege to be the director of the Springfield Public Library, Where Minds Grow, and the Springfield Museum. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the proposed budget for FY21 for the library department. So the library department has a strategic plan with three basic objectives, and those are to be a hub for information and innovation, foster an environment of economic and cultural diversity in Springfield, and expand access to library services. So we do that work, we divide that work in the budget into 5 programs. Now this is a change from last year. We used to have 11 programs. The Arts Commission and the museum programs stayed the same, but the other 9 programs we consolidated down into the 3 that you see on the slide. So we have library operations, and that's the cost of running the library. So from here we pay our staffing, we do marketing and development, and also the cost of the volunteer program. Then we have library collections, which is the cost of providing resources. And so this is where we purchase our traditional print resources, but also we have a growing demand for digital resources. So we spent $53,000 last year on digital collections and database subscriptions. And most of that came from our Gift and Memorial Fund, which is where we keep our grants and donations for the library. But this is something we have to monitor because we have a growing demand for digital resources, but we don't see a decrease in the demand for print resources. And then finally, we have the library services program. And this is where we pay the cost of providing borrower services and programs and outreach. So borrower services are anything from checking in and checking out and helping the patrons find the resources that they're looking for. And then programs, we do a lot of programming. We do programs for all ages, and we do them in Spanish. And so we had about 25,000 people attend our programs this past year. So it's a really big part of what we do. And then outreach is when we're going out into the community and we are taking information about libraries to special events and locations and engaging people in library services. So we do all of this with an FTE, a regular FTE of 15, and then we have a little over 1 FTE that is limited duration or temporary staff. And then you'll also see on this slide all of our support groups that provide oversight and financial and volunteer support for the library. So there's 8 librarians and then 6 library techs. 0.5 of one of those tech positions, it goes to support the Springfield Arts Commission. And then our library tech specialist, who's like our internal IT person, also supports the Lane Council of Libraries. And we share a catalog with some other libraries in Lane County, and through an IGA, they help pay that salary in order to receive tech support. You'll also see our 1 FTE dedicated to the museum. That's our museum curator. And then we have our outreach liaison, which is a grant funded 0.4 position for the Get On Board program, and our library substitute staff. And they help us cover the library desks when needed so we can keep the library open and running. So our proposed budget for FY21 is about $2,017,000, and this proposal includes $1,672,000 from the general fund, and that pays for 13.63 FTE, and then the materials and services we need to basically keep the library open and running. Then our Gift and Memorial Fund, or our 204 fund, we anticipate spending about $131,000 from this fund, and that covers the majority of the costs of our programming, and also it's how we supplement our collections and other initiatives in the library. And then there is the personnel here accounts for a 0.6 position. We've submitted a grant to increase that outreach position from 0.4 to 0.6. And then we also are planning to pay 0.5 of a tech position out of here. And then finally, the 208 fund, or the transient room tax fund, is how we pay for the cost of running the museum. And then the 0.5 position that supports the Springfield Arts Commission is also paid out of this fund. Our library support groups, as I mentioned, are very important to the library. They're an integral part of what we do. So the Springfield Library Foundation had its largest or most successful fundraiser to date this year. They raised over $50,000 for the library. Now, on the other hand, the Friends had to cancel their book sale or at least postpone it due to the pandemic. So that's their largest fundraiser, and we're not sure what their capacity for giving is going to be this next year. Our Springfield Library Advisory Board provides oversight for the library, and they're working on a community survey right now. The Museum Advisory Committee was part of the Mayor's Gala this year, and they raised over $10,000 for the museum. Our volunteers gave us over 7,000 hours of support this past year. Now, we do anticipate that this might be down a little as we reopen the library because the majority of our volunteers are in the age range that is pretty susceptible to the coronavirus. So this could have an impact on our workload as we're very dependent on volunteers to reshelf our books and to help with processing as well as to help support our programming. Our accomplishments for FY20 were many. We focused on improved patron services. So we got our remote book drops up and running, and those are out in the eastern part of our community, and we're really excited to be expanding our services out that direction. We also expanded our database offerings, and this was in response to patron requests. During the time that we've been closed for the pandemic, we've developed a digital card program, and it's been so successful that we plan on continuing it into or when we're open for regular hours again. This past year, we went to the council and we requested auto renewals to eliminate fee barriers for patrons, and we're happy to report that blocked cards are down, so that's been successful. And we've increased our offerings for adults. Particularly of note is that we are offering job clinics at the library. So there's one-on-one job counseling, and senior law services is also providing services at the library when we're open. So the last thing is that we got this great big electronic billboard that's behind our reference desk that advertises all of the fabulous programs and services that we're providing, and it's really capturing people's attention, so it's doing just what we intended it to do. At the museum, we're continuing to work on the remodel project, even as we're closed, and that's going really well. We're excited about opening again with the permanent collection on the first floor and also the entire collection under one roof. And then the Springfield Arts Commission, they opened their youth art gallery in City Hall, and that's been a huge success and a great addition to not only City Hall, but to downtown Springfield. Initiatives for FY21, we hope to continue the Get On Board program. As I said, we've submitted another grant expanding the position from 0.4 to 0.6 so we can reach more families. It's been very successful. We have had to pivot the program a little bit during the pandemic to go from the physical get on board a bus to get online. So we're helping families engage with our electronic resources and getting them signed up for those digital library cards. And we also have a lot of digital initiatives that we're looking at. We will be launching a new website that we created in-house. We will be getting new self-check machines. About 2/3 of our checkouts go through the self-check machines, and that service contract is coming to an end. And then we get requests on a regular basis for wireless printing. And so we're looking at a new print and patron management software. And our library catalog and patron database contract is up, so we'll be working on a renewal for that. And looking into the future, we're thinking about our space. And so we've outgrown the space that we're currently in, but we know we're here for a few more years. So we're looking at how we can maximize the library space. And we've started that in the children's area already. And so we'll be evaluating the entire library and seeing how we can use the space more efficiently. And we're also looking at new ADA-friendly furniture for the library, and all this is being funded by donations. And then as we finish our museum remodel, we'll be looking at some needs we have over there for safety and environmental updates. And also our staffing has remained the same for the last 10 years. So we anticipate being busier than ever when we reopen, because it's traditionally happens with libraries that in times of economic downturn, they are very busy. So we're looking to increase our half-time tech position to a full-time position using gift and memorial funding for that for this year for FY21. And then, as I mentioned before, we're looking at that 0.6 FTE outreach position. That's a grant funded position that will hopefully be successful in achieving. And finally, we're looking, always thinking about technology because it's a growing part of what we do. So we'll be advocating for a Wi-Fi expansion project for the library to accommodate all the people that are coming to the library with their devices to do work. And we'll continue to look at how the usage of our databases and our other electronic resources and the demands that we're seeing there. So this has been a really quick overview of our proposed budget and the services that we provide with that money. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me. You can go to our website, wheremindsgrow.org, and you can find my contact information there. And thank you very much for your time.